reality of wrestling, the flagship of Texas wrestling.
You just can't see it anywhere else.
He's 15 feet in the air. Brian Keith from up top. Oh, look at this. Oh, my God.
Will testify.
Connect. Wow.
Look, can you dig that? Boom.
Welcome to the front row of sports entertainment. Matt Topolsky and Brad Gilmore for the reality of wrestling. And Brad, a major main event on tap here tonight. But before we talk about that, we also have the reality of wrestling TV title hanging in the balance. It's a #1 contenders match. The winner will face the TV champion. It will either be Brian Keith or Hendricks.
Hey, Hendricks came close to winning that television championship in that battle royal just a few weeks ago. Can he capitalize over Brian Keith, the former champion, and be the new #1 contender? And will Legion play a pivotal role in that match later on?
It could be a huge moment in the career of Hendricks and for Legion, or Brian Keith could be headed back up the ladder. But in addition to that, Brad, let's talk about the main event, the Reality of Wrestling Championship up for grabs. It's the first time we will see the two-time Reality of Wrestling champion, the Latin heartthrob Gino, in action, and he goes up against your guy, JJ Blake.
I mean, the Dynamite Adonis, JJ Blake, gets another opportunity at that Reality of Wrestling Championship. Can he grab the ring? Can he go up there, reach the mountaintop, and become the new champion? We'll find out.
Title implications up for grabs and so much more. It's an action-packed edition of the Row, and it gets started right now.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is a #1 contenders match for the Reality of Wrestling Television Championship. Introducing first, representing Legion, weighing in at 170 pounds, Shawn Hendricks.
A few weeks ago on the Row, the monster of Legion, known as Nomac, brought home the bacon for Shawn Hendricks and Legion. Can Hendricks do the same tonight and become the #1 contender for the Reality of Wrestling Television Championship? It's an action-packed edition of the Row, and it gets kicked off right now with Shawn Hendricks and this man.
His opponent from Greens Point, Texas, weighing in at 200 pounds, Brian Keith.
The bounty hunter, the Lone Ranger of the Row, Brian Keith, has entered the World Gym Arena, and his pursuit of the Reality of Wrestling Television Championship continues. And what chapter will he write in the story this week as he goes one-on-one with Shawn Hendricks? The winner will be named the #1 contender.
Brian, you might want to turn around.
Brian Keith just walked into a bad part of town right there.
Well, here we go, TP.
Whether you are a believer in the supernatural or not, one has to admit that the things that we have seen from Shawn Hendricks and his associates over the years has been nothing short of uncanny, weird, bizarre, unexpected. If he were to become the #1 contender for the TV championship and go on to capture that title, it would severely change the division. I would argue not for the better, certainly for the stranger. But in order to do that, he is going to have to defeat a former Reality of Wrestling TV champion in his own right, the bounty hunter Brian Keith. And of course, the numbers game working against Brian Keith as all of Legion's here at ringside.
Well, hey, I mean, that's what Hendricks is all about, using the numbers game to his advantage. But Brian Keith.
Quick cover here from Keith. Kick out at 2.
He's overcome the odds before. I mean, let's remember when he first captured the television championship, it was inside of a steel cage with Ryan Davidson and Stevie Ray patrolling the outside. Brian Keith's overcome odds before in his career. He might be able to do it again tonight.
Hooks the leg here. Kick out from Shawn Hendricks as Brian Keith peers right into the eyes of another member of Legion. And every time you think the head has been cut off the snake of this demonic collective, another 3 or 4 heads grow. Legion, we thought just a few months ago, was splintering at the seams, fracturing, if you will, and then they just grew stronger. They just reformed. The ranks continued to grow, and the calendar year, the Julian year, if you will, continued. But right now, Shawn Hendricks is hung up in that tree of woe, and Brian Keith is looking to take advantage.
Open season.
Don't go anywhere because the Reality of Wrestling rolls on after this break.
Shawn Hendricks looking for a high-impact maneuver. Brian Keith.
Oh, nice reversal from Brian Keith. Brainbuster suplex, but kick out at 1.5. And look at Legion on the outside, stalking the shadow of Brian Keith. It's as if any moment they will pounce. But here's the problem. If they do, and Shawn Hendricks loses this matchup by disqualification, Brian Keith becomes the #1 contender.
That he does. That he does. So Hendricks has to be very careful about how he utilizes Legion, if he utilizes them at all. But if we look at history, he always finds a way. I still think, though, Hendricks... Oh,
roll up here from Hendricks. Cover, 2, and a kick out.
Hendricks, though, has always had to utilize Legion whenever he was kind of, to be quite frank, losing the match. If Hendricks comes out on top and he competes with Brian Keith, maybe he won't need to use him at all. I was throwing out ideas there, TP. Feel free to comment on anything.
Well, I will comment when it's relevant.
But in your estimation, I mean, who do you think would be the bigger challenge for Terrell Tempo, the new television champion? Would it be Shawn Hendricks, or would it be the former champion, Brian Keith?
I think both competitors present interesting challenges for Terrell Tempo. Brian Keith is a veteran. Cover here, 2, and a kick out. He's a former television champion. He took Rex Andrews to the limit in one of the great rivalries of 2016. But what Shawn Hendricks brings to the table is Legion, the numbers game, the demonic collective, his ability to mesmerize people just by looking in their eyes. Both present interesting and difficult challenges for Terrell Tempo in his journey as the new TV champion. Hooks the leg here, cover, but a kick out at 2 from Brian Keith. And we want to remind everyone still to come in the main event this week on Reality of Wrestling. J.J. Blake once again gets an opportunity at the Reality of Wrestling Championship when he takes on the now 2-time champion, the Latin heartthrob Gino. That's still to come in the main event.
And that's going to be a big challenge for J.J. Blake. But I tell you what, if Hendricks wins this match, that's going to be a big challenge for Terrell Tempo, because then he has to battle, once again, the numbers name that we've alluded to so many times before of Legion.
Oh! A sit-out bookend right there. And now, the Lone Ranger looking to rope another opponent. He's calling for that rodeo DDT. Center of the ring.
Oh, man. Shawn Hendricks goes lifeless to the outside.
Hendricks had to have been knocked out cold by that super kick. And now Brian Keith doing a little stalking of his own. Keith climbing to the top here.
Legion trying to help.
Brian Keith up top.
Whoa.
And all 3 Legion members are down on the outside. It's chaos out here. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, back.
Oh. Nomak taking out Brian Keith.
Hendricks has distracted the official, and now Nomak is tearing Brian Keith apart.
Wait a minute, Brian Keith, reversal. Nomak eats some post. Brian Keith is overcoming the numbers game, TP.
Brian Keith has taken the fight to Legion, but his back is turned. Could be a mistake. Hendricks hangover on the way, and he hit it. Shawn Hendricks cover, 1, 2. Shawn Hendricks is the #1 contender.
Your winner and new #1 contender, Shawn Hendricks.
The numbers game proved to be fatal for Brian Keith. Shawn Hendricks distracted the official, and Nomak made his presence felt. Terrell Tempo. A unique challenge stands before you. The Julian Year, the Demonic Collective, Legion, and its leader, Shawn Hendricks. He is the #1 contender for the TV title.
Row Nation, please welcome at this time my guest, the reigning Reality of Wrestling television champion, Terrell Tempo. Tempo, earlier tonight we witnessed Shawn Hendricks become the new #1 contender for this very title. But you know with Legion, wherever there's one, the rest are bound to follow. With that said, how are you going to be preparing for Shawn Hendricks and the rest of Legion?
You see, yeah, I know more than anybody. More than anybody, because when I won this championship a few weeks ago, I had to get through every member of the Legion, and I wasn't prepared for that, but it happened. But this time, I got a plan, and I'm going to keep my head on the swivel. In Legion, they roll in a group. They're always together, and they think I'm alone. But it all changes once we go out there in that ring, because they'll know I'm not alone when they hear the building tremble from everybody in the stand saying, "Let's go, Tempo." And I walk out with my TV championship once again.
All I need is a little tempo. Tempo. Tempo.
Tonight's Reality of Wrestling Rewind is brought to you by the King of Solar Screens, home of the $50 any size solar screen.
And here comes Stevie Ray.
Yes, what we're witnessing right now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, is a gang assault perpetuated by Stevie Ray Incorporated. Oh, come on! It's 3-on-1. The tag team champions and Stevie Ray taking apart Rob Barnes.
Well, hey.
And of course you sign off on this.
You see this punk right here? He shouldn't even be in this country. All you suckers should get up on your feet and look at greatness right here. Look at greatness. Donald Trump is going to build a wall to keep suckers like this out of this country. I hate Australia. I hate this punk. Get back, fool. I hate this punk. I hate Australia.
Rob, how are you feeling right now?
How am I feeling? How do you think I'm feeling? I fly over here from Australia and they put me in a match pretty much against 3 guys. That's not fair. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Why would that? I haven't been treated fair around here for a long time, and you know what? Maybe, just maybe Stevie Ray's right. Maybe it's because I'm Australian.
We're standing here with Rex Andrews, the Texas champion.
Yes, catch me every time, man.
Rex, you requested to be on commentary tonight during the main event, Gino versus JJ Blake for the heavyweight championship. What are your thoughts? Why are you doing this?
I'm just here to give a champion's perspective on commentary, and I wanted to get a front row seat for the action.
Wait. No, we need a scoop. What's the real reason?
All right, man, you want a scoop? It's the main event. Rex Andrews is the main event.
Oh, up and over.
Line over the top, and now East Snow, who makes his living at High Risk City. Oh my goodness!
A swanton off the top. Wait.
Oh, come on here! Stevie Ray trying to get physically involved, and Evan Snow just rearranged his thinking.
He just hit an innocent man. He better press
charges. An innocent man. Give me a break.
Paul Walker, Texas lawyer. Press charges, Stevie Ray. That's assault. Assault with deadly.
Oh, and a swing vote. Courtesy of the distraction from Stevie Ray. Hooks the leg. Oh, but a kick out from East Snow at 2 3/4. Oh, reversal from East Snow.
Big time reversal by East Snow. He needed that. Now he's getting fired up.
East Snow battling back here. Oh. Abel Andrew Jackson drops that top rope. East Snow hangs on. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, come on, and again. Once again, Stevie Ray getting involved.
No.
Grabbing both feet of East Snow and dropping him face first on the apron.
That's called a receipt. He assaulted him.
It's ridiculous.
He assaulted that man.
Oh, and now, and so what do you call that? An encore? Give me a break.
That was his chain.
That's what an assault looks like. When you show up at ringside with no intention of getting in the ring and physically competing, but assaulting someone from behind.
Well,
that's not expert tutelage, it's despicable. Oh! And a code breaker from Abel Andrew Jackson, cover, center of the ring.
Yeah.
Your winner, Abel Andrew Jackson.
It's morning again in America, TP.
Excuse me, Snow, excuse me. Quick question. How did it feel to get your hands on Stevie Ray?
How did it feel to get my hands on Stevie Ray? It felt like I just won the Reality of Wrestling Championship again. I mean, the arena went crazy. Everybody blew up. It was explosive. We were vibing.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it didn't end so well that night. Your thoughts on that?
No, it didn't. I guess maybe along the way I lost my vision. No. The vision is still in the process of the creation. So believe me when I say it's just getting started.
Number 1 contender. For the first time in my entire career, I can say that about myself. But now, it's still not a time to celebrate. If we waste time celebrating one victory, time will continue to pass. And as time passes, everybody else will get better. While we stand here and pat ourselves on the back. We're not about to waste time like that. Number 1 contender for the television title. Terrell Tempo, I welcomed you to Raw. And I'll be there when I see you out. Because that title is coming to Legion.
Ladies and gentlemen, a huge main event tonight at the Reality of Wrestling. The Reality of Wrestling Championship defended Gino, the champion, El Campeon, against this man, the number 1 contender, JJ Blake. JJ, the time for talk is over. An opportunity for you to walk out of the World Gym Arena as the new Reality of Wrestling champion.
Tonight, history
is going to be made. Tonight, Gino's talking that stuff. He's like, what did he say? He's 2-time champion, been twice, because he lost it, all right? And tonight, he's going to lose it again. Tonight, I'm going to be the first ever Reality of Wrestling champion to cement his legacy in history. You know why? You know why it's me in history? When I win it, do you know why? Do you know why? Yes or no?
No.
No, you don't. Because I'm JJ Blake. There's only one JJ Blake. This is going to be the first one ever, and I'm going to win it. I'm going to win the big one. I'm taking it home to Virginia, to the Commonwealth, baby.
But JJ, with all due respect, you've gone up against Gino before. You've gone up for the Reality Wrestling Championship, and you haven't walked away with it. Do you really think you're going to win and defeat Gino tonight?
You hold it. You do your job. You do your job. But just stop talking. It's going to happen. It's going to happen tonight. Gino, El Campeon, Intocable, Untouchable. They're going to learn something about you tonight. Everyone is going to learn something about you. You are an illegitimate champion. You can be touched, and you're nothing but a boy playing a grown man's game. And I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat you like you came home after the street lights came on, son. I'm going to beat you like you stole something. I'm going to beat the bricks off of you. Chris Russo, I'm going to be the next Reality of Wrestling heavyweight champion. Everyone watching at home, I'm going to be the next Reality of Wrestling heavyweight champion. Gino, I'm going to be the next campeon of Reality of Wrestling. And there's not going to be anything you can do about it. Because I'm good, because I'm great, because I'm J.J. Blake.
You know, I mean, Cameron Cole, this guy comes out here after losing the tag team championships. He demands singles matches against every member of Stevie Ray Incorporated. Now he's going after the Texas Championship, facing Rex Andrews. And where's his partner? Where's Bartek? Has he left Bartek in the dust? Look, I get it. You know, everyone likes to look out for themselves. They want to be the guy. Cameron wants singles gold, I guess. But look, it still says.
Well, I think that's why he's here right now. I wouldn't call it a guessing matter at all. He believes he can defeat Rex Andrews, otherwise he wouldn't be in the first place. A suicide dive through the ropes, head first, and Cameron Cole has taken control of this matchup.
Well, if I know Cameron Cole, he's gonna double dip.
High risk again through the ropes, oh my goodness! And a reversal from Rex Andrews.
Rex Andrews is a shark.
Look out!
Oh.
Head first into the steel. Not again, look out, oh my God!
Jeez. Hey, whoa. What did our table ever do to you?
It was like a fuse was lit inside of Rex Andrews and he has exploded on the challenger.
Wait a minute. Uh-oh, and wait. Hold on. Here comes Bartek.
Well, ask and you shall receive, Brad Gilmore. The other half of the Cool is here at ringside.
He's firing up.
Cameron Cole trying to write his own story. Trying to rewrite history, goes for that super kick. It would be an upset that would be remembered for the ages if Cameron Cole can find a way to defeat Rex Andrews and capture that Texas title.
Oh.
Super kick! It stunned Rex Andrews, and he goes back to the leg.
Rex Andrews knows he's not going to stand with him now.
Well, he was stunned by that first super kick, but the second one connects flush. Incredible! Cameron Cole to capture the championship! Oh my goodness!
Wow. What a match we have for you tonight. The main event of Reality of Wrestling. Use that hashtag RowOnCW. Both these men are giving it their all tonight. Cameron Cole coming with way more than we knew he was capable of.
Cameron Cole has taken it to another level here tonight. Rex Andrews has to be shocked by it, but wait a minute. Into that R-bar.
If he breaks the hands, this is going to be it for Cameron Cole.
Cameron Cole trying to battle out. It's clear now that part of that strategy, there's that armbar.
Bartek.
And what is Bartek doing? He just threw in the towel.
Bartek threw in the towel. He threw in the towel for Cameron Cole.
Your winner and still Reality of Wrestling Texas champion, Rex Andrews.
Well, that towel that was used at the beginning of the match to either remove the excess perspiration of Cameron Cole, or as Rex Andrews may have argued, baby oil, has just been thrown in the ring by Cameron Cole's tag team partner, Bartek, and the match is over. Why would he do that?
Come on, Cam. About your favorite, peppermint mocha. Thanks. Look, man, I know you're upset. And I know we haven't talked in like a week. But I know what I did was right out there. I know what I did was best for the team, and I know what I did was best for you.
I mean, understandable, but that might be my only shot. I might not get another one. You know that. It's just, it wasn't your choice to decide whether I quit or not. It was mine.
And I hear you. I just know what I did was right.
Yeah. I gotta get going, but I'll catch up later.
They need to take his coffee.
Tonight's episode of The Row is brought to you by Walker Texas Lawyer at WalkerTexasLawyer.com. Hilton Furniture, let him have it. The king of solar screens, home of the $50 any size solar screen. Welcome back to The Row. Matt Topolsky and Brad Gilmore for the Reality of Wrestling. And Brad, coming up next, Gino has been so impressive since making his debut here at The Row some 2 years ago. The youngest heavyweight champion in professional wrestling history. Now a two-time Reality of Wrestling champion, but he defends that title against J.J. Blake. Your thoughts?
Hey, J.J. Blake, he's the Dynamite Adonis, but we're going to have to see the best J.J. Blake we've ever seen here tonight if he's going to have a chance against Gino. It's going to be a tough fight. It's going to be a great match, and I can't wait.
It's your main event. It's Gino versus J.J. Blake for the biggest prize in Reality of Wrestling. Well, we are about to embark on the main event for the Reality of Wrestling Championship, but look who is joining us here at ringside. It is the Reality of Wrestling Texas Heavyweight Champion, Rex Andrews. And he is looking for a front row seat.
Sir, how are you?
Champ, great to have you.
Take a seat.
Thank you for having me, gentlemen. Appreciate you having me out here.
Thank you for coming out.
Yes.
This is the Texas champion.
Absolutely. It's an honor to have you here at ringside, and you have the best seat in the house for our main event.
Absolutely. That's
yeah,
what
right
I'm
next to
here
me.
for. That's true.
It's true.
That's true. You guys are first class, man. You know, this is gonna be a first class main event. Gino and J.J. Blake is as good as it gets, right?
Hard to disagree. And here he comes. Here comes our first, the challenger, the Dynamite Adonis.
Well, J.J. Blake has been in pursuit of the Reality of Wrestling Championship for some months and continues to elude him. But he will be the first athlete here at The Row to get a crack at the newly crowned Reality of Wrestling champion, the two-time champion, the Latin heartthrob Gino. Could tonight be the night for J.J. Blake?
Well, speaking of champions, though, Rex Andrews, you are the first ever Texas champion in Reality of Wrestling history. What does the Texas Championship mean to you?
As far as I'm concerned, the Texas Championship is the biggest championship in this company. It transcends the promotion itself, you know. It gets the top talent across the country.
Well, Well, here comes a man who may disagree with that. The youngest heavyweight champion in professional wrestling history, the two-time Reality of Wrestling champion, the Latin heartthrob, Gino has entered the World Gym Arena. This is your main event on Reality of Wrestling, and we want you to join in on the conversation anywhere in the world. Use the hashtag RowOnCW on all social media. It's JJ Blake versus Gino.
Let me tell you something, Matt. If JJ Blake was to beat Gino tonight, it's going to be the night. After you go through a ladder match like Gino did, that stays with you. If there was going to be a moment when JJ Blake could win the big one, when he could finally hold that championship, tonight's going to be the night.
That's an excellent point. I mean, we saw Gino take it to the limit. He and Easton put their bodies, their careers, their livelihoods on the line for that Reality Wrestling Championship.
We go up to our ring announcer, Chris Russo, for the official introductions of this Reality of Wrestling Championship main event.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the Reality of Wrestling Championship. Introducing first, he is the challenger from Virginia Beach, Virginia, weighing in at 205 pounds, J.J. Blake. And his opponent from Monterrey, Mexico, weighing in at 200 pounds, he is the reigning, defending Reality of Wrestling champion, Gino!
As big as it gets.
Well, here we go. Main event time. Reality of Wrestling. Gino versus JJ Blake for the Reality Wrestling Championship. The Texas champion Rex Andrews is with us here on commentary. And Rex, I guess first question over to you is, what brings you out here?
You know, I'm scouting this matchup. You know, we're gonna. Is the Reality of Wrestling Championship important? Obviously, it's obviously something that I'd want to have. But as I said, the Texas Championship is my #1 priority right now, and to be out here with fellow main eventers and see where the talent lies and just see how I stack up.
Well, you know, Rex Andrews, and I said it before, you're a big money fighter, always looking for that big payday, and perhaps champion versus champion could be something we see down the road.
That's where the money is. You know, the main event is where the money is, and in Reality Wrestling, there gets nothing bigger than the Texas champion Rex Andrews versus whoever walks out of this match with the Reality Wrestling Championship.
Well, let me ask you this. What do you think of a competitor such as Gino, the youngest heavyweight champion in wrestling history? He is a two-time Reality Wrestling champion. What are your thoughts on the current champ?
You have to respect his ability. You have to respect the fact that he does this just because he's good at it. He doesn't need the money. He doesn't need anything out of this, but he does it just because he's good. Just because he's a Latin heartthrob, young kid who can come in here and beat up.
Pin attempt, kick out at 2.
Can beat grown men. That's something they've worked their whole lives for, and does it with ease.
Don't go anywhere, Row Nation. This matchup will continue in a moment. And it's interesting, you even see it on the face of JJ Blake and the exchange they just had moments ago. There is a amount of mutual respect between these two that didn't exist some months ago. Even JJ Blake, as arrogant or overconfident as he can be sometimes, has to acknowledge the fact that right now Gino is at the top of this company. Or do you disagree with that statement, Rex Andrews?
I feel like if you look at JJ Blake right now, you don't see the same lightheartedness that you normally see in him. You see a very focused individual, knowing the challenge that's in front of him, knowing that he's in with a threat like Gino, and taking this as serious as he's ever taken a match before.
And I couldn't agree with you more. He is confident, TP. He is a little arrogant, but if you look like that, you'd be too. He's an Adonis.
Cover center of the ring. Elbow across the face, but a kick out. At 2, the Reality of Wrestling Championship hangs in the balance. It's that brand new Reality of Wrestling title that was handed to Gino by a WWE legend in Rey Mysterio Jr.
The match almost ended right there just because of Gino's arrogance, taking too much time.
Well, JJ taking a powder to the outside. Eats a big kick. It's all right, JJ. You got this. You got this, JJ.
So Gino's able to make those mistakes and recover so well.
Makes him a tough competitor to beat.
It does.
It's why he's the champ.
Gino, springboard to the outside, a high cross body from the top rope to the floor, and the Latin Heartthrob is in control here in the main event.
Wow. Gino saying that he's numero uno. But I think we have someone sitting right to the right of me who might disagree with that. But Gino's posing. In your opinion, Rex, is he taking too much time to inflict more damage?
Absolutely.
Oh, wait a minute.
These kind of mistakes, these kind of big risk things you wouldn't see me do.
Oh, wait a minute. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh! JJ Blake stops it.
Series of reversals on the outside here, and Gino goes headfirst into the steel.
And that's what separates myself from someone like Gino. He's gonna make a mistake like that. He's gonna take a risk like that. I'm gonna keep my feet on my ground, and do whatever it takes to put my opponent down.
And we've seen you do that. I mean, your takedown offense is incredible. Your striking is incredible. Grappling, chain wrestling.
Absolutely.
What do you think is your biggest weapon, especially if you were to go against a guy like Gino or JJ Blake?
My ability to ground him, just like you said, my utilization of jiu-jitsu techniques, being able to stay on top of my opponent and not give him the room to breathe like you see Gino do.
JJ Blake here to win the championship, kick out at 2.
So we need to see more aggression out of JJ Blake if he's gonna put Gino down, or you can't allow him to get that space again.
As much as I love JJ Blake, it is hard to admit that he is not a little overconfident at times. Maybe taking too long in between maneuvers to inflict more damage. Something that we accused Gino of earlier in the match, but make no mistake, these two are at the top of their game.
You know, JJ Blake's got a little bit of a Uriah Faber curse going. He wins every match except for the big one. He wins every single match except for the title matches, and I wonder if it's something where his ego gets in the way.
JJ Blake, a little homage right here to The Undertaker, looking for some old school, but a reversal from the champ goes for that scarlet letter. Reversal from JJ Blake, rolls through.
These two are familiar with one another. Competed in a triple threat match just a few months ago.
Springboard over the top, looks for that senton, reversal again. Seesaw battle between two of the finest tuned athletes in the row. JJ Blake takes advantage there.
That look familiar, Brad.
Working that arm like the Texas champion normally does.
Snap suplex from the challenger, hooks the leg to win the Reality of Wrestling Championship. Oh my goodness, that was definitely 2 and 99% right there. Almost 3.
Now JJ Blake toying with Gino, probably a poor decision at this point.
Where we saw him so focused early on, as soon as he gets control, he goes back to his old ways. I wonder if that's going to affect him later on.
I think it's definitely going to affect him, and it might be the reason you pointed out. Sometimes he just cannot close on the big one. But it looks like he's utilizing your strategy, targeting one of the arms, one of the extremities of Gino.
He might be doing me a favor in the future.
Great point.
Sidewalk slam there from JJ Blake. Another near fall, and JJ Blake has taken full control of this matchup right now. Gentlemen, are you surprised by this?
Well, you know, I said it for months. JJ Blake's a dynamite Adonis. He is heavyweight champion material. But we've seen Gino come back so many times. When it looks like he's all but defeated, he comes back so many times. So I am not going to get overly confident about a JJ Blake victory at this point.
Oh, short arm clothesline for the champion. Into a cover.
Just as I say that, Gino gets a near fall.
Both of these guys know each other so well, you're going to see a back and forth battle just like this.
JJ Blake looks like he continues to try and work on that arm.
Swing and a miss though by Gino.
I would say the later this match goes, the more advantage JJ Blake has.
Oh, and he just launched Gino through the air, lands face first, center of the ring. The challenger on top. Lateral press to win the championship. Kick out from Gino again.
Well, I have to agree with you, Rex Andrews. The longer the match goes, the more those old wounds of Gino from that ladder match might present themselves.
Absolutely, your cardio does not stay
Cover
the same.
here again from the challenger. Kick out at 2.
There's only so many times you can lace up your boots and get inside the squared circle, and when you compete in matches like a ladder match, that definitely takes a few of those matches away from you in your career.
Absolutely, you don't give yourself the time to recover. It's just, you're not the same returning every time.
But once again, working on the arm of Gino, the left arm, J.J. Blake may have been watching some film study.
Gino attempting to fight back, but J.J. Blake pulls him right back into a suplex attempt. Reversal, into the ropes, series of reversals again between these two. Springboard.
Nice arm drag there by Gino. Oh, both men thinking the same thing.
Double clothesline, and we are right back to square one between champion and challenger with the Reality of Wrestling title hanging in the balance. Rex Andrews, what have you seen from this matchup so far that would give you any insight into champion or challenger if you had to make a pick right now?
Whichever man walks out of this, just like I spoke about Gino coming out of that ladder match, whichever man walks out of this match is not going to be 100%. If they step in the ring with me in this condition, there's no chance, absolutely no chance against myself.
Confident words from the Texas heavyweight champion right now. Enziguri from Gino in the corner. The Latin heartthrob battling back. Oh! And a Pele kick to settle the score.
Not sure if you got all of it there. J.J. Blake still on his feet. Oh, wait. There's a famouser. This might be all.
Center of the ring, covered, retain the title. And now a near fall with J.J. Blake on the bottom, but he slips out the back door.
There's Gino's arrogance getting his way. If he had hooked the leg there, J.J. Blake would not have been able to kick out of that famouser.
That's a great point.
It is clear that in your career, Rex Andrews, you're not interested in winning a popularity contest. That's one of the things that makes you the most dangerous element in Reality of Wrestling. Depending on what happens here tonight, are you ready right now to commit on putting your sights on the Reality of Wrestling Championship next?
Look, Matt, I'm a businessman, and the business is big money matches. The big money match is Reality Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. They give me the contract, I'll sign it tomorrow.
J.J. Blake went for that Blake in. Reversed again from Gino, who now heads to the top. High risk city for the champion. From up top, high crossbody, J.J. Blake rolls through the cover, oh my goodness!
Wow.
Almost had him, the closest he's ever been. He could taste the championship.
As close as it gets, and now he's measuring him for that Blake in.
Blake in, new champion on the way. Incredible reversal into the scarlet letter from the champion. Cover from Gino, 1, 2, Gino retains.
Here is your winner and still Reality of Wrestling champion, Gino.
Rex Andrews, we thank you for joining us here at ringside. The Texas heavyweight champion with some breaking news for the Row Nation, and Gino, perhaps with a message of his own.
Gino, Rex. Interesting stare down there between the Texas champion and the Reality of Wrestling champion, but still.
The plot thickens. Could a Reality of Wrestling super fight be in the cards? Gino is still champion, and Rex Andrews may have his sights set on the Reality of Wrestling title. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week for more on The Road.
That's what Hendricks is all about, using the numbers game to his advantage. But Brian Keith.
Quick cover here from Keith. Kick out at 2.
He's overcome the odds before. I mean, let's remember when he first captured the television championship, it was inside of a steel cage with Ryan Davidson and Stevie Ray patrolling the outside. Brian Keith's overcome odds before in his career. He might be able to do it again tonight.
Hooks the leg here. Kick out from Shawn Hendricks as Brian Keith peers right into the eyes of another member of Legion. And every time you think the head has been cut off the snake of this demonic collective. Another 3 or 4 heads grow. Legion, we thought just a few months ago, was splintering at the seams, fracturing, if you will, and then they just grew stronger. They just reformed. The ranks continued to grow, and the calendar year, the Julian year, if you will, continued. But right now, Shawn Hendricks is hung up in that tree of woe, and Brian Keith is looking to take advantage.
Open season.
Don't go anywhere, because the reality of wrestling rolls on after this break.
Shawn Hendricks looking for a high-impact maneuver. Brian Keith.
Oh, nice reversal for Brian Keith. Brainbuster suplex, but kick out at 1.5. And look at Legion on the outside, stalking the shadow of Brian Keith. It's as if any moment they will pounce. But here's the problem. If they do, and Shawn Hendricks loses this matchup by disqualification, Brian Keith becomes the #1 contender.
That he does. That he does. So Hendricks has to be very careful about how he utilizes Legion, if he utilizes them at all. But if we look at history, he always finds a way. I still think, though, Hendricks... Oh,
roll up here from Hendricks. Cover, 2, and a kick out.
Hendricks, though, has always had to utilize Legion whenever he was kind of, to be quite frank, losing the match. If Hendricks comes out on top and he competes with Brian Keith, maybe he won't need to use him at all. I was throwing out ideas there, TP. Feel free to comment on anything.
Well, I will comment when it's relevant.
But in your estimation, I mean, who do you think would be the bigger challenge for Terrell Tempo, the new television champion? Would it be Shawn Hendricks, or would it be the former champion, Brian Keith?
I think both competitors present interesting challenges for Terrell Tempo. Brian Keith is a veteran. Cover here, 2, and a kick out. He's a former television champion. He took Rex Andrews to the limit in one of the great rivalries of 2016. But what Shawn Hendricks brings to the table is Legion, the numbers game, the demonic collective, his ability to mesmerize people just by looking in their eyes. Both present interesting and difficult challenges for Terrell Tempo in his journey as the new TV champion. Hooks the leg here, cover, but a kick out at 2 from Brian Keith. And we want to remind everyone still to come in the main event this week on Reality of Wrestling. J.J. Blake once again gets an opportunity at the Reality of Wrestling Championship when he takes on the now 2-time champion, the Latin heartthrob Gino. That's still to come in the main event. #1 contender.
Brian, you might want to turn around.
Brian Keith just walked into a bad part of town right there.
Well, here we go, TP.
Whether you are a believer in the supernatural or not, one has to admit that the things that we have seen from Shawn Hendricks and his associates over the years has been nothing short of uncanny, weird, bizarre, unexpected. If he were to become the #1 contender for the TV championship and go on to capture that title, it would severely change the division. I would argue not for the better, certainly for the stranger. But in order to do that, he is going to have to defeat a former Reality of Wrestling TV champion in his own right, the bounty hunter Brian Keith. And of course, the numbers game working against Brian Keith as all of Legion's here at ringside.
Hey, I mean,
oh my goodness, a Davidson driver! And you know what comes next, Brad?
455!
reality of wrestling, the flagship of Texas wrestling.
You just can't see it anywhere else.
15 feet in the air. Brian takes him up top. Oh, look at this. Oh, my God.
Will testify.
Look
at you dig that.
Welcome to the front row of sports entertainment. Matt Topolsky and Brad Gilmore for the reality of wrestling. And Brad, a major main event on tap here tonight. But before we talk about that, we also have the reality of wrestling TV title hanging in the balance. It's a #1 contenders match. The winner will face the TV champion. It will either be Brian Keith or Hendricks.
Hey, Hendricks came close to winning that television championship in that battle royal just a few weeks ago. Can he capitalize over Brian Keith, the former champion, and be the new #1 contender? And will Legion play a pivotal role in that match later on?
It could be a huge moment in the career of Hendricks and for Legion, or Brian Keith could be headed back up the ladder. But in addition to that, Brad, let's talk about the main event, the Reality of Wrestling Championship up for grabs. It's the first time we will see the two-time Reality of Wrestling champion, the Latin heartthrob Gino, in action, and he goes up against your guy, JJ Blake.
I mean, the Dynamite Adonis, JJ Blake, gets another opportunity at that Reality of Wrestling Championship. Can he grab the ring? Can he go up there, reach the mountaintop, and become the new champion? We'll find out.
Title implications up for grabs and so much more. It's an action-packed edition of the Row, and it gets started right now.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is a #1 contenders match for the Reality of Wrestling Television Championship. Introducing first, representing Legion, weighing in at 170 pounds, Shawn Hendricks.
A few weeks ago on the Row, the monster of Legion, known as Nomac, brought home the bacon for Shawn Hendricks and Legion. Can Hendricks do the same tonight and become the #1 contender for the Reality of Wrestling Television Championship? It's an action-packed edition of the Row, and it gets kicked off right now with Shawn Hendricks and this man.
His opponent from Greens Point, Texas, weighing in at 200 pounds, Brian Keith.
The bounty hunter, the Lone Ranger of the Row, Brian Keith, has entered the World Gym Arena, and his pursuit of the Reality of Wrestling Television Championship continues. And what chapter will he write in the story this week as he goes one-on-one with Shawn Hendricks? The winner will be named the